Hi everyone and welcome to the final day of the working week. Plenty to talk about. I think we could probably say it's a bit of a potpourri. Now tomorrow is our live program. We've got a few things to talk about. The main thing is it's an opportunity for you to share your thoughts, drop in some topics, throw in some questions. So your program tomorrow from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. Thai time. Look forward to seeing you then. Now let's get started. We've got some good news and bad news, good news and bad news. We'll start with some good news. And Koh Chang is rated as the world's second best tropical island for 2024. Well, Koh Chang in the Gulf of Thailand, not one of the better known tourist islands in Thailand, are getting number 2. Not bad. It says Koh Chang has been ranked as the second best tropical destination in the world by Travel and Leisure magazine. And the chief of the Koh Chang National Park said the improved ranking of the island, the second largest after Phuket and dubbed the Jewel of Gulf of Thailand, is testimony to Thailand's natural beauty and charms in the eyes of international travellers. Thailand's second largest island, you say? Let's check on that. We know Phuket is the largest island in Thailand. Wikipedia recording Koh Chang as 217 square kilometres. But hang on, Koh Samui has got 228 square kilometres. So it's a close thing. We don't want to quibble over 11 square kilometres, but Koh Chang, the third largest island in Thailand. And Travel and Leisure ranked the 10 favourite, or should be island, tourist destinations in the world. Maldives getting the top ranking, then Koh Chang number 2. 4 in Asia, Maldives, Koh Chang, Palawan in the Philippines and Bali. I'm not sure how many of the others you've been to. I've been to number 3, number 4, number 8. Yes, I was in Bora Bora, Tahiti back in 1965. I wonder if it's changed much since then. All right, so that's some good news. Let's go to some bad news. The BangkokPost.com reporting car production to miss target as sales exports fall. Thailand's total car manufacturing is unlikely to reach 1.7 million units this year due to a plunge in domestic sales and exports. In September, car exports fell by 17.6% year on year, and from January to September this year, Thailand saw exports drop by 6.4%. And a representative from the Federation of Thai Industries attributed the drop in car exports in September to an economic slowdown in trading countries and growing concerns over the escalation of conflict in the Middle East. And car exports to the US, Mexico, Chile, Germany, France, Italy, Japan, Indonesia and Malaysia all decreased. Domestically, car sales last month remained sluggish, with sales plunging by 37.1% year on year. Mainly due, the article says, to the bank's stricter criteria in granting auto loans amid high levels of household debt. And during the first 9 months of this year, domestic car sales fell by 25.2%. So bad news for the car makers and the salespeople, good news for consumers. Certainly seen a lot of deals and a lot of advertising for deals on buying both used and new cars at the moment. So if you are in the market for a new car, probably time to have a look at it. Okay, back to some good news, and Nvidia plans major investment in Thailand ahead of CEO Jansen Huang's visit. And this reported by Thailand-business-news.com. Now, just checking who Nvidia is, the largest tech companies by market cap, Apple number 1, Nvidia number 2. A few other companies you've heard of making up the top 10. So Nvidia is certainly one of the big players, and they plan to announce major investments in Thailand, following in the footsteps of Microsoft and Amazon in the region. In 2024, foreign investment in Thailand has grown by 42%, highlighting its tech potential. And according to Thailand's Commerce Minister, the CEO of Nvidia will announce the company's investment plans during his visit to Bangkok in December. And after years of moderate economic growth, authorities have pushed for a shift towards tech sectors to boost the economy, which traditionally relied on automotive and electronics manufacturing. So some good news there from the world's second largest tech company. Some more bad news. BangkokPost.com reporting Bangkok office vacancy rates rise. And the vacancy rates for Bangkok office space has continued to rise, particularly in the CBD, driven by significant increases in new premium grade supply. And it says overall vacancy rates for Bangkok office space rose to 18.2% in the first half of this year, up from 16.7% in the second half of last year. And part of the problem, an additional 260,000 square metres of new supply expected to come into the market in the second half of this year. And this influx will likely continue to impact vacancy rates, which could reach 22% by the end of the year. Bangkok's seen a steady rise in vacancy rates since 2019. So some snippets of good news and bad news today around Thailand. Just a moment, we'll be doing some updates, starting with Tropical Storm Trami. And we'd like to acknowledge the support of 5 Star Marine and Beach House Thailand. My trip out with 5 Star Marine on Sunday under a bit of a cloud, like literally under a bit of a cloud, stormy weather in the area over the next 2 or 3 days. Of course, because I'm making a video with them, they want it to look picture postcard perfect. Not sure if we'll be going out on Sunday. I'll tell you on Monday. In the meantime, let's check what's been happening with Tropical Storm Trami. And CNN World reporting Trami brings severe flooding and landslides to the Philippines, at least 24 dead. Widespread flooding and landslides set off by a tropical storm in the northeastern Philippines yesterday left at least 24 people dead, swept away cars and prompted authorities to scramble for motorboats to rescue trapped villagers, some on roofs. And featuring some excellent video there from the Time YouTube channel. And the article goes on, at least 24 people died, mostly due to drownings in the hard-hit Bicol region and nearby Quezon province. They say the toll's expected to rise, and the government's disaster mitigation agency said more than 2 million people were affected by the storm, including 75,400 villagers who were displaced from their homes and are sheltering on safer ground. Let's check what's happening with Tropical Storm known as Trami outside of the Philippines, but known as Kristine within the Philippines. And we can see it's now tracking westwards, heading towards Hainan Island, and sort of then stuttering somewhere in the middle of the South China Sea. And if we check ventusky.com, the way they've got it tracking is it's sort of going to be doing a loop around the middle of the South China Sea with sort of nowhere to go. Then if we project forward to next Tuesday, Trami's still there in the middle of the South China Sea, and we've got that other much larger storm which is heading towards Taiwan, as we mentioned yesterday. I think that's the one that we need to keep an eye on for the people of Taiwan. And from the curious weather around the region this time of the year to another perspective on the tourist tax, this from patiamail.com. And the headline of the story penned by Barry Kenyon, 300 baht Thai entry tax awaits trouble-free collection system. And I really think this is the essence of the problem. They really don't know how they're going to collect it as yet. So they're attempting to raise revenue by imposing a so-called tourist tax on most foreigners. What's always bedeviled the previous attempts to collect the tax has been the failure to find a system which avoided long queues at entry points created by card failures, the need for change, and arguments between the travelling public and immigration officers. This is the one thing we don't want. We don't want queues to be created by this new tourist tax. I don't think people really care much about paying a 300 baht tourist tax. It's the way that it's collected that I think is the sticking point. And this sentence strikes fear in the hearts of anybody who's lived here for an extended amount of time. The government's now working on a comprehensive plan to integrate entry processes with the forthcoming tax by an advance payment computerised system. Well, the word integrate certainly worries me there. I think it's going to be an extended amount of time before we see this tourist tax levied on arrivals. Now to, I suppose, a more interesting story from yesterday. NationThailand.com reporting China has deported a VW executive for allegedly using drugs while in Thailand. So, did he use drugs in China? Did he bring drugs back to China? A senior executive for Volkswagen in China has been deported for allegedly using cocaine and marijuana while on vacation in Thailand. This according to Chinese authorities and German media. And a Beijing police report said an investigation had determined that the 56-year-old man, who's identified only by the initial J, had used both drugs on October the 5th and that he'd been sentenced to detention from October the 10th to the 20th. This is in China. But according to Germany's top-selling Bild newspaper, other media outlets reported his name and identified him as Volkswagen's chief marketing officer in China. And Thailand legalised marijuana in 2022, but Chinese authorities have warned that the use of the drug overseas is equivalent to using it at home and subject to the same penalties. Oh, there is a lot to unpack in that particular article. I think we might be hearing a bit more about that in coming days. We do look forward to discussing maybe that matter and others in tomorrow's live program. I look forward to seeing you at 9 a.m. Thai time, and we'll catch up with you then.